Hi everyone, welcome back to A Model Recommends and the most used beauty products of the month. What a mixed bag I have for you today. Now listen, skincare is slightly an odd one because of the way this video works. So it's not a favourites video. I sit there and I work out the products that I have used most, which is why it's called most used, obviously. So there might be things that are my favourites I think are really, really good, but there are other things I've used more. I'm not sure that the actual concept of this video is the best in the world because it means I sometimes end up with quite an odd collection of things to show you. But on the other hand, I quite like it because it's a bit different and I don't know, it's the things that I've gone back to again and again. However, I have to start with an apology because you've seen this so many times, but I have used up another bottle of this, and so, I mean, it is my most used, probably skincare thing of the last month. I've been trying loads and loads of new stuff, and so I've got lots of new skincare to tell you about, but none of the things, because I tried so much, none of the things really gathered enough momentum to make it into the video. But this is the No Wrinkles Night Repair. I'm not going to talk about it again. It's the This Works one. I'll link to a couple of other things so you can hear me talk about it. It's just a really, really nice, very moisturising night serum with a bit of retinol in it as well. I can't imagine that it's massive amounts. I just really like it. My skin really gets on with it. I don't need a moisturiser afterwards. That's all I'm going to say about it because I've talked about it, God, I mean, hundreds of times. But two makeup things this month. The first one, I have never had so many people DM me about foundation before. I mentioned that I had this on in a photograph a couple of weeks ago, and it's the L'Oreal Pro Glow, the Infallible Pro Glow. Now, I like the Infallible matte foundation. I reviewed it years ago. It's very good, very long lasting. This has just come over from the States and again is very long lasting. It says 24-hour wear. Haven't tested it for that long, but I imagine that it looks pretty good for a long time. I mean, I've done 12, maybe 14 hours and it looked perfect. But then, does that include sleeping? I don't know. I don't know how they test these time limits because is that you're awake for 24 hours? I imagine if you're awake for 24 hours, you don't look that great. You'd be knackered. So anyway, I have this on now in shade 203. You can see me putting it on. I'll try and speed that up for you so you can get a good idea of how the coverage looks and things like that. I'm going to do one of my standalone foundation reviews on my blog for this because it's so requested. So I'll try and get that done for next week. So if you're not subscribed to my email that gives you my blog posts, do that because it's right underneath in the description box. There's a link for that. It's free. And while you're at it, subscribe to this channel, please, because I don't know what happens when my videos go out, but I don't ever get any notifications and I'm signed up to myself. So it would be nice to have a bit of feedback on whether you actually see my videos coming in or not. But yeah, so Pro Glow does what it says on the tin. It's a radiant finish. I mean, you can see that it is really, really glowy. It's very comfortable if you've got drier skin, but it doesn't have, it's not slidey. I mean, it sets properly. It's just really, really good and inexpensive. So standalone review of that coming up. And then we've got the Dior Pump and Volume Mascara, which I have talked about a few different times, I think, but I just think it's amazing for getting really volumized lashes. I've got one coat on and it's just like coating them in rubber, basically. So two nice makeup things. I've used those all the time, had loads of comments on my lashes and had loads of comments on my skin. Little aside, which may or may not interest you, I'm wearing the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk range that's just launched. Everyone's going wild for it because everyone loves the lipstick, which I don't have on because I can't find it. So, irony. It's been launched because Pillow Talk, the lipstick's so successful, so popular. And so there's now a blush, which steer clear of the middle bit because it is just it's too shimmery for a blush. There's going to be a lot of people going around with glazed faces. Not necessarily a great look, you know, keep the highlighter to the right place is what I say. People are highlighting their whole nose. their whole cheeks. I just don't understand it. It looks mad. I mean, it looks like fancy dress, I think, but who am I? I mean, I suppose I'm boring with my makeup. I'm low key. I'm of the wrong generation, maybe. But yeah, if you want my advice, use that as a highlighter, the middle bit, and then use the outside as your blush. I made the mistake of swirling it together. I now have weird highlights all over my cheeks. I've really taken them down. I've buffed them off. I mean, I was gilded. And then the eye stuff is gorgeous, as always. Her eye quads are just amazing. Haven't actually put the glittery bit on yet. This pop bit that you put on your eyelid. Ooh, which sometimes I find a little bit too outre. But if you're going out, it's always a nice look. Centre of the lid, and you're done. So these palettes are designed in a specific way. So you sort of work your way around. You do the whole lid, bit of the lid, outside V, and then a pop in the middle of the lid. And it's very clever. She has loads of tutorials online that you can follow to do different looks and to show you how to use different products. So they're worth a look if you ever invest in her makeup, because she shows you how to use all of her different brushes and things like that as well, which I think is very handy. But that's what I'm wearing, just in case you thought, oh, she looks snazzy. Probably didn't think that, but if you did. Hair thing. This is the I can never pronounce this. Szechuan hair repair. And it's sort of like I want to say a hair mask, but you don't really need to leave it in that long. What does it say? Oh, allow 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, I leave it on for about 2 to 3 minutes and it works really well on my hair. Maybe I should leave it in for longer. But it's like a hair mask, but it's not in one of those pots that you have to stick your fingers in and then you get all your hair stuck in the pot, and it's just the shower water goes in the pot and it falls on the floor and it all goes down the plug hole. It's in a really handy pump like that. And it's not one of those ones that feels like a body butter that is really hard to work through your hair. So you don't ever think that it's really going to work that well, and then you rinse it out and your hair's like silk and you think, okay, I see what the fuss is about with that. Little tip for if you're using really intensive hair masks and conditioners and things like that, and they're very expensive. Make sure that your hair's quite dry when you put it in. So shampoo your hair and then almost squeeze the water out. I sometimes take an Aquis towel, which are those microfiber ones, and just squeeze it a little bit, just so that my hair is almost towel dried. And then I work this through and it just stops it all just running off with the moisture. If you put it on sopping wet hair, it all just slides off and it's just a waste of product. So dry it off a bit and then apply it, and I think it just grips a bit better. Then do your face, shave your legs, do whatever you're doing, and then rinse it out. But that one is really good. I've used it for years, but I had a little bit of a hiatus because I didn't have any and I had so many other things to test. And then recently got some more and I'm back on it. It's really good stuff. And then last thing isn't strictly allowable in this video because it's not my most used thing, but it's something that I've used the most for someone else. So it's a sleep spray and it's the Bloom and Blossom Dream Catchers Pillow Spray. And it's a Bloom and Blossom collaboration with the Roald Dahl company. So it's the BFG range and it's really sweet. And this is the pillow spray that's supposed to help them sleep. I mean, I don't know whether it does, but she loves it and she associates the smell of it with going to bed. And the reason I like this one, apart from the BFG association, is that it's not your classic lavendery based sleep spray. It's quite, I don't know, there's something almost musky about it, like a man's nice aftershave cream or something like that. I don't know, it's just got a really lovely mellow smell, and it's not one of those herbally aromatherapy kind of smells, I don't think. So I really like it. She loves it. We do 3 spritzes on the pillow and then she puts her head on the pillow and then she says, "It's wet, mummy." And we both laugh and I'm like, "It will dry off." Little insight into my 7 o'clock routine there. And I just think anything that helps kids to get to bed, bloody hell. I mean, it can be a nightmare. So whatever, I will do anything just to get a bit of peace in the evenings. And that's my 5 things, my 5 most used. I've whittled on far enough, and this has annoyed me because I had styled my blouse to have a little bit of like a sexy collarbone showing, and I've just realised that throughout the whole video it's been like this, quite prim and proper. I mean, it looks good both ways, but I like a bit of, do you know what I mean? Maybe if I turn the collar like this. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, can't see my boobs, can you, that far down? It's quite impressive over the boobs, this shirt. Oh God, I'm going. Make sure that you subscribe to my email and the channel, and then you'll get the Pro Glow review and stuff when that comes through and all the bits and pieces, and I shall see you next time.